Hi there, welcome to Rero tutorial, and today I'm going to show you how to build Omni tank. This is a robot which can move in 8 directions. Are you excited? Let's get started. Now we will begin with the robot's assembly, and we begin with the robot's body first. We get an adapter joint and we slide it in into the robot's body at the longer side, and make sure that the adapter joint is facing upwards. We get 3 double spaces and 1 adapter joint facing upwards, and then we have completed one side, and we repeat the same steps for the opposite side. 1 adapter joint, 3 double spaces, and 1 adapter joint. And there we have completed the robot's body. Now let's move on to the rotatable joint wheel. Now we get 1 cube servo and make sure that the output is pointing downwards. And we slide in another cube servo which is pointing outwards. Now slide in and interconnect to the upper cube servo at the side, and followed by 1 wheel for the bottom cube servo. And there we have completed the rotatable joint wheel, which we will be using in the robot's body. Now it's time to connect the robot's body with the rotatable joint wheel which we have built just now. Firstly, we need to connect the cube servo's wire into the robot's body, and it is very important to do so that it will not be blocked later on. Next, we slide in to the adapter joint. Then we do the same for the other side. Remember to connect the wire first. And slide it in to the adapter joint. Now we have completed one side. Now we repeat the same steps again for the opposite side. Slide it in for the last rotatable joint wheel, and there we have finished assembling the robot's body. Remember to connect the wires of the cube servo and then set the path of the cube servo. Now we will set the path of the cube servo. For the upper joints, we will set the path. And for the bottom cube servo, we will set it as wheel. And then we have finished setting the path of the cube servo, and next we will move on to the rero animator to program it and give it life. Here we have the rero animator which we will be using to program the Omni tank. On the left panel, you can see that there are 8 servos, and we will rename them accordingly to the directions and also the joints and wheels. For example, we have the front left joint, front right joint, rear left, rear right, and also the wheels. Firstly, we begin by adding an action to the front left joint, and now we will adjust the direction for the wheel to face the proper direction so that we will move to the direction which we want, and we will want to program it in such a way that the robot will actually move to the left direction. To do so, the front left joints, front right joints will have to face the front direction, and the rear left and the rear right joints will have to face the rear direction. And remember to adjust the degree to be a multiple of 90. And to make things faster, you can just key in the values. And here we have programmed the joints. Now let's move on to the wheel. And you have to test run it so that you know that it is actually moving in the correct direction. As you can see, it is not moving in the right direction, so you have to rotate it to be in the opposite direction. And test it again. Okay. Now let's add the last action to the right wheel. So now we have programmed it to move in the left direction. So save it. And straight away upload it to the robot. And we have completed the left direction. To program it to move in the right direction, it is very easy. Just rotate the direction of the wheels to move in the opposite. For example, this is the clockwise direction. You just flip it to the counterclockwise. And from counterclockwise to clockwise. Save it to be right direction and upload it to the robot. And now we have completed programming it to move in the horizontal direction. Now let's demo it to move in the horizontal direction. It's moving in the left direction, moving very good, and the right direction. Now we will program the Omni tank to move in the vertical direction. And firstly, as usual, we will program the joints to move in the correct direction and followed by the wheels. In this case, we would want to program the left joints to face the left direction and the right joints to face the right direction. And to make it quicker, you can just key in the values and press enter. And then we have finished programming the joints. Next, we will move on to the wheels. Make sure that it is actually rotating in the correct direction to move in the front direction. And if it is not moving in the correct direction, just flip it. And then we have it, the front direction. Save it. And straight away upload to the robot. Next, we will program it to move in the rear direction. And like before, we will just flip the rotation of the wheels. Save it. Straight away upload to the robot. And then we have successfully programmed the Omni tank to move in the vertical direction. Now let's test it to move in the vertical direction, the front and also the back. Next, we will program the Omni tank to move in the diagonal direction. To do so, the front joints will have to face the front left direction and the rear joints will face the rear right direction. and we will program it to be in a multiple of 45 degrees. Next, we will program the wheels to move in the front right direction. Remember to flip it when necessary. Then we have completed the front right direction. Save it and upload it to the robot. Next, we will program it to move in the the rear left direction. Save it. And upload it to the robot. Now let's test it to move in the diagonal direction. The front right and also the rear left. We have successfully programmed 6 directions, but remember there are 8 directions for the Omni tank. So for the last diagonal movement, I challenge you to program it on your own. Can you do it? Of course you can! There are many advantages of Omni tank compared to the normal car which use steering wheel. Now I will move it in a triangular path. Firstly, I move in the horizontal direction, and when there's a sharp corner, it's not a problem for Omni tank because it has so much of freedom in movement. And when there's another sharp corner, no worry. And now I have almost completed the triangle path. We have finally reached the end of the tutorial, and it's time to wrap things up. When we build the Omni tank, we have to be very careful with the directions of the cube servo, and in the programming part it is a little bit tricky as we have to program each and every one of the 8 directions. The Omni tank is a very powerful design and it has many advantages compared to the normal steering wheel. Have fun with the Omni tank, and thank you for watching.